Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something we all struggle with from time to time: procrastination. Yes, that little voice inside your head that says, I'll do it later. But then later turns into tomorrow, and before you know it, you're running out of time. Sound familiar? Let's start with a question. Have you ever put off doing something important? Maybe it was an assignment for school, a work project, or even just cleaning your room. Why did you delay it? Was it because you didn't feel like doing it, or were you just distracted? Take a moment to think about it. Now, let me tell you a funny story. This happened to me a few years ago, and I still laugh about it today. I had a big presentation at work, and I kept telling myself, I'll start working on it tomorrow. But every day, something else seemed more interesting. Watching TV, playing video games, even organizing my sock drawer. Anything to avoid starting that presentation. Finally, the night before the presentation, I realized I hadn't done any work. Panic set in. I stayed up all night, trying to put everything together. By the time I finished, the sun was rising and I was exhausted. I walked into the office, barely able to keep my eyes open. And guess what? I forgot to save my presentation file. All that work gone. I had to give the presentation from memory, and let's just say it didn't go as planned. So what's the lesson here? Don't procrastinate. But let's be honest, it's easier said than done, right? We all have moments when we'd rather do anything else but the task at hand. But here's a trick I've learned. Break your work into smaller pieces. Instead of thinking, I have to write a 10-page report, think, I'll write 1 page today. It makes the task feel less overwhelming. Now, let's have some fun. Imagine you have a magic wand that can make any chore disappear. What's the one task you would never want to do again? Washing dishes, taking out the trash. Personally, I'd love to never have to fold laundry again. What about you? Procrastination is a funny thing. We know it's bad for us, but we still do it. It's like eating too much chocolate. You know it's going to give you a stomachache, but it's so hard to resist. The key is to recognize when you're procrastinating and take action before it's too late. Let's practice a little English while we're at it. Can you think of some synonyms for the word procrastinate? How about delay, postpone, or put off? These words all mean the same thing, waiting to do something when you should really be doing it now. Try using these words in a sentence later today. And here's another tip. Set a timer for yourself. Say, I'm going to work on this task for just 10 minutes. You'll be surprised at how much you can get done in a short amount of time. Sometimes starting is the hardest part. Once you get going, it's not so bad after all. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. Think of something you've been putting off and promise yourself that you'll start it today. It doesn't have to be something big, just one small task. And when you've finished, reward yourself. Maybe with a piece of chocolate, but not too much. Or you might get that stomachache I mentioned earlier. Remember, procrastination is like a snowball. The longer you wait, the bigger it gets. But if you take action, you can stop it from rolling out of control. So let's beat procrastination together. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this episode both entertaining and helpful. Don't forget to share your thoughts with me. What's the task you've been putting off? And how do you plan to tackle it? I can't wait to hear your stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep smiling. Goodbye, everyone.